Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most controversial events in human history, the moon landing. Now, did we really go to the moon, or was it all just a show? I've gathered some interesting pieces of evidence that will raise serious questions about the official story. Let's dig in. First, let's start with a strange encounter involving Neil Armstrong, the first man who supposedly walked on the moon. Now, in 2002, a journalist asked him to swear on a Bible that he actually set foot on the moon. Armstrong refused. Now, why wouldn't he take that simple oath if he had nothing to hide? Look at this video.
Mr. Armstrong, Bart Sibrel, ABC Digital. Wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Gentlemen. Mr. Sibrel.
Yes? If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon?
Mr. Sibrel, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible. You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Please
I have the
give it to
tape.
charity. It'd be fine.
Why don't you swear to... Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Sibrel has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Sibrel, you do not deserve answers.
So, probably he was just tired of constant harassment from conspiracy theorists. Or maybe we can say that there was something more to his refusal. Some believe this is the key sign that the moon landing might not be as straightforward as we are told. But now, that is not enough. Let's talk about the moon rock that NASA gifted the Dutch Prime Minister after the Apollo 11 mission. Now, tests were done and it was revealed that the so-called moon rock was actually petrified wood. Yes, you heard that right. It was simply wood. Now the simple question rises: if the Apollo mission really brought back hundreds of pounds of lunar material, why would this important gift turn out to be a fake? Now, was this just an embarrassing mistake, or could it be evidence that some of the moon rocks never left Earth at all? And then we have NASA's own Don Pettit admitting that they destroyed the technology that supposedly took us to the moon. Let's hear it from him.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going to Mars should be one of the next series of steps that humans do. The first step should be going back to the moon for a number of technical reasons and exploration reasons, and then after that, Mars, maybe high orbit in Venus atmosphere, maybe going to Europa. There's all kinds of targets to go to, places of interest in our solar system. The only limit to human future is in our own imaginations.
Now, how does that make sense? If we had the technology to get there in 1969, why would it be impossible to rebuild it today with the advancements that we have? Doesn't make sense. But let me show you something here. Let's talk about the materials used in the construction of the lunar module. The outer layers were made of materials like aluminium, which have specific boiling points. But here's the thing: temperature in space can range from 250 degrees to over 250 degrees in direct sunlight, depending on where you are. And that's not to mention the extreme heat in the thermosphere, which can reach over 2000 degrees. Now, here's something else that doesn't quite add up. NASA has publicly admitted that they can only fly in the Earth's orbit. But wait, didn't we already fly through these radiation belts and go all the way to the moon decades ago? What changed?
Well, that's a great question. The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to
Just go to the moon.
Now, Neil Chelson once said that it would be more expensive to fake the moon landing than actually going there. His point is that creating such a large deception would be incredibly costly.
Have you really thought about what it would take to fake a moon landing? Because the rocket did launch. We all saw the rocket launch, okay? So there's hardware there. They're like office buildings of blueprints for the design of the Saturn V rocket. The hundreds of engineering hours that went behind this and the records of those designs. If you wanted to fake the moon landing, you would have to fake all of these documents. And it just seems to me it's way easier to just go to the moon. Has anyone considered that? Just go to the moon. That's easier than faking all of this.
Then we see evidence that shows it's not as it sounds. Hollywood has been creating realistic lunar environments for decades. With the right budget, is it really that far-fetched to think a convincing moon landing could have been staged? Now, you might be asking, why would NASA lie about going to the moon? Let's set the scene. It was at the height of Cold War. America was locked in a race for technological supremacy with the Soviet Union. The moon landing was a powerful statement that showed the world that the United States was at the forefront of space exploration. Now, some believe that NASA's moon landing was more than just a giant leap of mankind. It was a calculated move to demonstrate American superiority in space technology, a way to create fear and assert dominance in a time of global tension. What better way to prove their power than by claiming the first human landing on the celestial body? So what do you think? Did we really make it to the moon, or was it just a well-crafted illusion? With so many unanswered questions, it's hard to ignore the possibility that we may not know the full story. But anyway, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this conversation started.